I thought it might be fun filming this review during a snowstorm, which seemed appropriate for the Mammoth. I'm not sure if it's going to be more fun for you or me. We'll find out. So the last video I did about the Mammoth was really just because I felt like no one, including Michael, was talking about like just how unique this color design was. You can go see the previous video for that. I covered that pretty extensively. But I didn't do a full review of the jacket because, well, for one, Michael's covered it some. I felt like other people would probably be reviewing it a whole bunch, but that hasn't really happened. So I guess I'm gonna talk about it because a lot of people in the comments are like, oh, you should do a full review. You should talk about your experiences with it after you've worn it for a while, blah, blah, blah. So I will, but I'm going to make this a twofer, as you'll see in the title. I've got my Stormy Chromer Rancher cap here, or Mackinaw Rancher, which it turns out is the same wool, except maybe a weight difference. But it's from the same company, American Woolen Company in Connecticut, and it's the exact same dye. It's basically the same wool, which is kind of cool. I didn't know that going in. I thought they'd be similar, but I didn't know that they would match. Oh, that's the patch from the leaf jacket that I sewed on the hat. So we'll get to both. So, what have I thought of the Mammoth so far? Well, first let me tell you, it's 18 degrees right now. You can probably see by the angle of the snow, if it's showing up on camera, there's a little bit of a breeze. It's not still right now. I'm just wearing a sweater and then a regular cotton t-shirt underneath this, because I'm not going to be out for hours. I don't need to worry about sweating through my garments or anything like that, but I'm a little warm right now. I'm also not wearing long underwear. If I was going to be out here for a long time, I'd be wearing long underwear, but I'm not at the moment. I'm just in my jeans. And I'm pretty toasty. I'm pretty comfortable. I'm in southern Maine right now, and we're getting a snowstorm, and like I said, I thought it'd be funny to film a Mammoth review in a snowstorm, because it just felt appropriate. So, as someone was saying in the comments, and this is true, when I said last time the Mammoth is in a heavier wool, and I listed the Mammoth is listed as 27-ounce wool, the Filson Mackinaw Cruiser, the regular one, is listed at 24 ounces. Although I once had a Forest Service one, vintage, that was 30, and that was the thickest thing I've ever worn. But someone pointed out, well, you know, they don't say ounces per watt, and there's a lot of variations in the fabric that can make that mean or not mean different things, so it might not be heavier just because of that. And that's true. I can tell you that the only test I've done is, besides feeling the fabrics, and they feel tremendously different. I still have a Filson vest, and like, it's in the same weight, and it feels very, very different. I've also shown a light through both of them side by side, and much less light comes through this fabric than comes through the Filson. But also just experientially wearing it, I get less wind coming through this. That was always something that like was useful sometimes and less useful other times with the Filson. Was in the temperature range I wanted to use it in, a little too much wind would creep through, and I'd have to augment it a lot. And it had the room underneath to augment it a lot, as you could see in the last video. But even the Leaf version of the Mammoth is warmer than a standard cruiser, for my own experience. It also, you know, has the benefit of the higher collar, which does make a big difference. The pockets have been a tremendous benefit. I'll come a little bit closer for that. Yeah. The huger, but they're huger. You can see in the last video when I actually had it to compare. I've since sold the cruiser. They're just so much more capacious. So I've got my gloves in here, and this pocket on the cruiser would barely fit these gloves. They'd stick out like this. I could never like close it over the gloves. And with this, I could fit gloves and my partner's car keys and all kinds of things in here. I've had 2 sets of gloves. I've had these and these in here, and they still fit. So the capacity of these pockets is just great. This is a wool buff that I'm not using right now because I'm showing off the collar. Love this pocket. I am still unsure about this pocket. I don't mind it because I actually never use more than 3 pockets. I'm still unsure about this one. This opening, while it probably keeps things from coming out okay, is a little small to fidget in, and I have very small hands. I keep a thermometer on this. I tried putting a compass on it, and I also tried putting additionally like a car window, one of those mini window breakers on it, and it didn't work out because it wants to sit flat on the top of this bottom pocket where the seam is, and that is a very ribby, bad place to have something pressing in from my seatbelt or a bag strap or just anything. That didn't feel good to me. So I can't really keep a ton of stuff in this. I do still keep my earplugs in here, and they stay in right in the corner. They just love to nestle there, and that's been extremely handy because I've been working on repairing an old snowblower, which has been going well, I'm pleased to say. But you know, I'm running a loud engine a lot, and it's nice to have them. But I'm not sure about this pocket yet, as opposed to just another one of these. It is a cool visual detail. Also, as you probably noticed at the beginning of the video, this is just sort of constantly flopping out, which I don't actually mind because with the thermometer function, I do want it out in the open. And this actually works really well. This gives me an accurate read. This is a chill check thermometer. Apparently they're made in the USA, which I found very surprising. And this happens to be a waterproof model, which just means they taped the back. They're usually open in the back. It actually works quite well. They're pretty accurate. Accurate enough, certainly, to track what the outside temp is doing. In fact, let's see what it says now. It's just under the 20, which is about what it should be. It should be about 18 degrees. So, I'm not quite sure about this. Also, if I was going to put anything heavier on this, this strap is made out of the same Mackinaw wool as everything else. And in this form, this is not the most robust strap. This would degrade and tear and come apart eventually. I think this should be something else, cotton webbing, or you know, Michael probably would not want to use nylon on such a thing, and I'm not sure I need that either. But like some kind of stronger material than that would probably be best for that. There's also, I'm not going to take my coat off enough in this weather to show you, but the hanging strap is also just a strip of the same wool, and I wouldn't have done that either. I might turn the wool into bias tape, you know, roll it over and stitch it, and that would be, I think, strong enough for the long run, for the loop in the back. But I don't, that's not my favorite. I wish that were more robust. The buttons have loosened up. They've been great. I usually remove the buttons off my new jackets and sew post buttons. I will probably eventually do that with these, but I think I'm going to leave them to wear until they finally start coming off years down the road before I do that. I don't really feel the need to with this jacket the way I have with some other jackets. The map pocket is great. It's just as good as the Filson's. I use it all the time when I'm shoveling or snow blowing and I see that we get the mail. I just tuck the mail back in here. I can even put a package back here. It expands quite a bit, and then I just carry on with what I'm doing. Sometimes I forget the mail is in there, and it stays dry and flat, and that's very handy indeed. I'm really glad I went with the size and length that I did. It's proven to be very comfortable. I will say my dream version of this, which would add cost and might be weird aesthetically and might not work. I think a lot of guys have commented the shoulders are slightly binding, and it is really just the shoulders. I have a lot of room in my chest. I have a lot of room for my belly, which is good because I have a bit of one. But yeah, the shoulders on this model are fine for me. I can reach up, I can reach over, but when I do this, I am reaching the limits of the fabric in a way that I can feel, maybe I can show you this, that I can feel in tension just across the shoulders. Can you see that line of tension forming just between my shoulders? Right, like I'm still getting as much flex as I would ever need, but I can feel that tension. And what I was about to say, this would add cost. I'm not sure if this could work, but you know how trucker jackets, like Carhartt style jackets, often have an expansion gusset? I'm probably getting this word wrong, but like they have, like, you know, some extra fabric hidden here to expand a bit, kind of a bellows. I would love that. Love, 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 love. Love that on here. I don't know if that's feasible, and it's a nitpick. But a lot of people have spoken to the shoulders in particular feeling slightly binding. And I feel like that's probably a thing, because I'm not a very big guy. I don't work out, I don't have big shoulders. If I was to join the cast of a Marvel movie and go from like a funny, slightly pudgy guy to like a less funny, ripped guy, I would probably not be able to maneuver in these shoulders anymore. So that's just a thought. The shoulders definitely could still use something, and I don't know enough about tailoring to speak to what, but there is something going on there. But this is well sized for me, and actually because of my current weight, even if I got stronger and gained more muscle, I would also lose some fat that I don't love in my back area, and it would even out, and this would still fit me fine. So overall, I'm very pleased. I've already been using it as a primary winter work jacket. I've already done tree pruning in it. Although I haven't climbed in it yet. I'll be doing that soon. I've been, you know, clearing snow and storms with it and working on engines with it, and just wearing it in the garage. And I love it. I really like this a lot better. It is what I hoped for. It's an upgrade for me to the Filson Cruiser that I had. It's a little bit warmer, it battens down a little bit better, it's a little more versatile, and it is just as durable and functional for my needs. So, anything else I have to say about the Mammoth before I get to the Stormy Chromer? Pocket. I kind of wish it had an interior pocket, but so what? The Filson didn't either. And again, more money. You're adding more money with every single operation and every single bit of fabric. And that's the other thing. I guess that's one thing I'll say. I'm real pleased with the price. Like, I was already pleased with the price. Just this cost what a cruiser used to cost back when they were merely premium and not gouging. And this is better than that. And it is such a value. It really is. If you can get your hands on one of these and it fits you well, like, it's such a value. I love it. Let me talk about the hat now, I guess. So this is the Stormy Chromer Mackinaw Rancher. It is distinguished by two things from their other Rancher models. So I guess I should mention what the Rancher means. 1 second. I gotta beat the snow off my hat. I have a combination of bedhead and hat hair right now, so enjoy that. So the Rancher models have an extended earpiece. So this what would normally be the strip that can come down and cover the top of your ear, is extended to form a helmet that looks a little like a Star Wars speeder helmet to me in some ways. down around the back of your head and over your ears. So any of their models that does this is a rancher. However, they have models where it's just thinsulate, or like a fleece and thinsulate covering your ears. They have another one where it's a little less expensive than this, and it's Sherpa, and they're lighter weight wool. This is, as I mentioned earlier, 26-ounce Mackinaw jacketing wool that Stormy Cromer uses on their Mackinaw jackets, their cruisers and their double Mackinaw. This is the American Woolen Company's Mackinaw wool for the body of the hat, and then this is, one moment, and then this is Sherpa. Not Sherpa, excuse me, Shearling. Shearling. Oh, my big reveal. This is Shearling, not Sherpa. This is real Shearling, and oh, does it feel good. I hemmed and hawed a little bit about the price of this versus the other versions. I shouldn't have. This is so nice. It's so... This is like... What is the opposite of buyer's regret? Buyer's ecstasy? This is great. I love this thing so much. As you can see, I put the Iron Snail Mammoth leaf patch on the hat. It goes great with the green. I love it. Makes me look like a game warden or something. And once or twice I've actually come upon someone in the woods who was maybe doing something they shouldn't have been doing, and they saw me wearing one of my hats that like look a little official but aren't, and they like stopped what they were doing and sauntered off. So that's kind of funny. I don't mean to do the equivalent of like driving around in a powder blue, what is it, a Ford Explorer or whatever the cops use around here for the state troopers, but I don't mean to do that, but I also used to work in trail building and care about conservation in certain areas, and if people are doing some bad stuff and my hat stops it, all the better. But this, oh, and it also has thinsulate in the crown. I mean, this has just been fantastic. This winter has shown me that for being outside for extended periods of time, which my young kiddo has me doing a lot, my regular Stormy Cromer just wasn't quite thick enough, and ooh, this is so nice. It's so nice. If you've been thinking about getting this and you're like, oh, but should I get one of the cheaper ones? No, get this. Absolutely get this. It's worth it. You'll love it. Give me a... It's hard to find turnarounds of these, so I'll give you as much of a turnaround as I can of what it looks like. And also, with it down, I'll try to give you a turnaround. Got to hunch a bit because my camera's on a stump. I say my camera, it's my phone. I'm not a videographer. I used to work as a video editor, but I've never been an operator. That was very silly. I know not to do that in these snowshoes. Oh well. So, yeah, the reason I'm reviewing these together, again, they match, like they're matching wool. So those of you who are looking at a Mammoth leaf may want to think of a set. Well, not just a Mammoth leaf, they also, I believe there's a full Mammoth in this colorway too. But you might want to think about the set, because it's pretty cozy. Part of the reason I chose to do this in a snowstorm is to demonstrate it is in fact very cozy. There's a wind, it's 18 degrees, I'm getting covered in snow, and I feel quite cozy. So it's very likely that you'll feel cozy too. And like I said, I could insulate a lot more than I am now. I'm just wearing jeans, I'm not wearing my wool overalls, I'm not wearing long underwear. There's a lot of ways I could make this outfit. I'm not wearing a particularly thick sweater. There's a lot of ways I could make this outfit a lot warmer. But anyway, those are my more thorough thoughts on the Mammoth leaf, and also my thoughts on the Stormy Cromer Mackinaw Rancher, which I got to go with it. I love them both, and ask me anything else you might want to ask me in the comments, but that's pretty much all I can think of to say about them.